What's up, my guys? We are back in line once again. Week has gone by already. Again, I guess time flies when you're having fun. I miss you guys. I'm having a great time doing this every week with you guys. It's very nice. I enjoy seeing your beautiful faces. I enjoy all of our listeners' beautiful faces as well. Even though I can't see you listening, I just know you're beautiful. So with that being said, what is up, my guys?
I got one. Did you guys see it?
I saw it.
Go ahead, Tiggy.
I saw it. Incredible weekend. I'm a little sluggish today. My brother came in from Wheeling, so went out here, had a grand old time, had a lot of golf, hit a lot of dive bars, and by a lot, there's like 2 out here, so that was fun. A lot of food, a lot of fun. We hiked a little bit, so it was cool. And he just left this morning, so it was a really good time.
Hell
Good.
yeah. That's fun, dude. And it sounds like you've been hungover since last Thursday.
Yeah, basically. We found a place that sells $10.92 pitchers, and I tell you, we had a good time.
Wait, hold on. You said $10.92 pitchers. Do you mean for $10.92 you can get a pitcher?
Mm-hmm.
Or were these $10 pitchers on sale for 92 cents?
The first.
Okay.
So basically $11 pitchers. And I tell you, we ran those into the ground and ourselves. So
Nice.
I
The
love
pitcher. What were in the pitchers?
they actually had like a lot on tap. I think they had like 8 beers on tap, which I thought was pretty big for like the place. So they just had the regular. They had like 4 domestics and then like a bunch of IPAs and shit. So we just got, I think, Michelob.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love a nice pitcher of beer.
I was going to ask if you guys were protecting Shane Gillis and drinking Bud Light out here and supporting troops.
So I am a big supporter of Bud Light. Okay, not due to any advertising campaign, just because I love shitty American beer, and maybe that's my vice. I like the blue Cokes. They've been known to be called some Bud Lattes. I just like Bud Light. I don't really like Coors. I don't really like Miller. I like Bud Light. So I prefer Bud Light. People give me looks, and I'm like, I don't really care. Whatever. Fuck you.
If people really give people looks about that, people need to reevaluate their priorities in life. If the man wants to drink Bud Light, shove it up your ass and enjoy whatever you're drinking. Who cares what someone else is drinking? I can't get over that thing, I truly cannot. You keep drinking your Bud Lights, Tiggy Nation.
I'm gonna keep drinking Bud Lights.
Isn't it funny how like everybody's body just works and runs differently? Because for myself, I'm not going to sit here and say like that Bud Light tastes bad, but anytime I drink Bud Light, I get a crazy headache. So my body just cannot respond to like Bud Light seltzers, any of that kind of stuff. It's just like funny to know that like I was a Miller guy, a Michelob guy, and then to hear you like you've always been a Bud Light guy, and it's just funny. It's funny how we pick, funny how we choose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Unfortunately, my body doesn't like. I love beer. I love beer, but my body just does not appreciate when I drink beer. Miller Lite. It does me out of all the beers in the world. Miller Lite does me the best, like not hangover wise. But I will tell you, I don't know what it is, but a lot of people say, when they drink wine, they feel like absolute garbage. I'm the complete opposite. If I drink wine, I feel better the next day. Like I just took Captain America's Super Soldier Serum for some reason. I don't know why. Now, I'm not sitting here saying I can drink 6 bottles of wine and feel good. I'm saying if I drink, a couple bottles, I feel great the next day. And,
how many drinks are in a bottle of wine?
Not that many. Honestly, like they go fast. Like
3 probably.
3?
I mean,
honestly, it's up for it depends on how much you pour in your cup.
Exactly. So I would say it's 3 heavy pours. If I'm thinking of a wine glass, But see, that's the problem. Wine glasses vary in size.
Yeah. I mean, it goes quickly, for instance, but I don't know. Back in a few years back, me and Angie to ourselves drank 6 bottles of wine
Holy shit!
one night at 44 Fairfax. So I mean, I don't know. It's up for interpretation, I guess.
She didn't get pregnant?
No. Yeah, so wine's pretty good. Love beer though. Beer's good. It just unfortunately gets me. If I drink too much of it, it gets me fiercely hungover.
Yeah,
as with any vice.
Yeah, for myself, like I've kind of fallen back in the I mean, I never kind of left, but now that I'm like going back to the hole all the time, the hole just blessed everybody on this planet. Now they do nooners, and you can buy buckets of nooners. So I think between me, Schutz, and Brady wasn't even really drinking nooners. The old boy was going fucking whiskey and cokes. He drank about 4 whiskey and cokes, and this is at 2 p.m. on Saturday. Watching WV, by the way. Let's just clarify. This isn't at night. But I was there from about 2 to 7:30, and I'd 6 in a thing. I'd say we ordered at least 3 buckets. So I don't even know how many nooners I had. And I was just telling JT actually before you hopped on, Tiggy. I think this is news. I haven't, this isn't out in the airwaves yet, but I think this is going to be a happy dad warm weather year, because they're good enough to constantly want to keep drinking. They're light enough, and they have electrolytes in them. And from the 2 times that I drank heavily on them, I didn't really feel bad the next day. So I think I'm going to hop. I mean, I've only really drank Happy Dads probably 3 or 4 times. I got to go all the way to the great state of Ohio to get them, which it's very far if you guys know where I'm at. And yeah, I think that's going to be the move. They're coming out with a twee version as well. So I think Juice is going to be on the old Nelk Boys kick this summer, brother.
Why don't they sell in West Virginia?
I don't think it has to do with them not wanting to sell in West Virginia. I've learned this through the tobacco industry, that getting things into West Virginia is always like last on the list.
Well, Jake, let me stop you there, because West Virginia is one of the first states for our company with Zone. So
21 and over.
Yeah, no free ads, but giving a free ad to Zone. So shout out Zone in West Virginia. Just had to stop you right there.
It was funny.
Shameless plug, but
I walked into Smith Oil 2 weeks ago, like really early on, like really early, and I just walked in there, and nice lady was working there. I was just like, "Do you guys have like the Zone nicotine pouches?" And she just said, "We have Zen." And I just didn't want to like correct her, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, I'll just buy that." But I like, it's not what I wanted.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it probably wasn't even out there yet.
Wasn't.
Yeah, but switching gears. Hey guys, get the keys to our new place tomorrow.
Let's go.
Big.
That crept up super quickly, so real excited about that. Got a lot more space. We're moving to like a quieter area. Apartment life was fun, not for me. Just not for me. Some people enjoy like apartment life, enjoy the city life. I enjoyed it for a year. Now get me the heck out of town here. You know what I'm saying? So real excited.
Question?
Yeah.
If everything falls in your favor for the rest of your life in terms of you being able to do what you would like to do for the rest of your life, do you think that's going to be the last time you live in like an apartment style place?
Oh, never living in an apartment again for as long as I live. Never again.
It's big. I mean, this big. I mean, I just
yeah, like, I mean, listen, guys, I say that right now, but we don't know. Like, I thought today, I'm ready to watch some football again. So, you know, You know what I mean? Like things change. I never would have thought I'd move to Georgia to begin with. But in my mind right now, in my, you know, I think, we're moving to a townhouse, renting. I think the next step, wherever it is, our next move, whatever, is probably a house,
Do you think that's it?
I don't want to say that's the house, but I just foresee it just after the townhouse being in a house, because we're probably gonna, you never know, couple years, pop out some little Puerto Rican children. Yeah. So like, so
I can say that.
Yeah.
I can say that.
So that's kind of where my mind's at right now, but we're very excited for the new place. A lot more space, quieter, more room for the dogs. Now, this is a sleeper characteristic to a house, but a lot of natural light. Completely lit up. A lot of windows, a lot of natural light. Really pumped for that. Our apartment's a little dark inside. We had a good time in here, but just ready to spread our wings on the apartment. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm excited for that.
Nice. Big step. Yeah. How long do you have between like getting out of your current place to the new place?
So Tiggy Nation, it honestly couldn't have worked out any more beautifully, because we get the keys to the new place tomorrow. Our lease is up March 22nd, so we get like 3 weeks, but the first month in the new place, they were running like a promotion. So the first month is free. So we're not double paying anything. So it really worked out really, really well. We don't have to like hustle and bustle and rush, make sure every little thing is out, tomorrow. Mm-hmm. We can kind of just take our time with it. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I already got myself some office decor. I ordered some vintage NASCAR Winston Cup Series
from
posters. Etsy.
Etsy's got it all, boys.
True. Yeah, I think it's a perfect thing for my office because like Winston is like our main top brand, and it's like I love NASCAR, so why not get some old school Winston Cup Series posters?
Yeah, I was listening to Denny's podcast after the race, which came out yesterday, and it was very hysterical for him to just sit there and be like, I was top 5 coming in at the end of every stage, and I wrecked every single time. He's like, I was running top 5, I was winning the race, and I have nothing to prove for it, and I wrecked 3 times. He's like, I've wrecked twice, he's like, I've wrecked 4 times in 2 races so far, and it was just like... just so funny to just hear him talking about it.
Yeah. Tiggy Nation, did you see any of the highlights or anything from the last week's race at all?
So I saw the highlight. I sent you guys the clip I saw on Twitter.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
And I was like, that's unreal. And they were making comparisons to like cars and stuff like that. And I was like, that's unreal that happened on the last lap.
It was crazy.
That's where these are the clips that need to keep getting pushed to show how great racing is. Because you always think left turn. It's really hard to pass in NASCAR, especially like there's so many fucking cars on the track. The track's not that big. And yet on the very last lap, 1 car's in the lead until like the last turn. Somehow 3 cars all within a foot of each other, side by side. I don't even know who won still. I don't even know who won, which lane won. I don't think the middle lane won, so it had to have been either the inside or the outside. But it was sick.
Just take a guess. Who do you think won?
There was one picture that, like, in real time when I watched it, I thought the inside won. But then when I saw a picture, it looked like the outside guy won.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's true. I have no idea.
Well, we'll tell you. We'll tell you right now what happened.
Tell him.
Because I thought the same thing. I thought Blaney won. Inside guy. I thought Blaney won. It looked like he won. But Daniel Suarez stuck his tongue out like the guy in cars, and the outside guy, actually won. So I was super pumped for Dan. I wanted Kyle Busch to win because I'm a Kyle Busch guy now. Obviously, not unfortunately.
Maybe
it's fortunately. I never want my people to think my allegiance has changed. We know this. CB, love you. You're my best friend. But I was happy for Daniel Suarez. You know, I think that was a sweet win. Happy for him in just like Mexico, because like that's huge. You know, like NASCAR's always been an American sport. Daniel Suarez, I think he's probably the only like dude from Mexico, probably, right, that's ever been a racer. Cup Series,
second career win.
Yeah, so like I think that was sick. Jake sent me the replay of the Mexican announcers like doing it, and they were just freaking hyped, dude.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Like I watched it like 3 times. It was electric, dude. And I'm so happy for Daniel Suarez, man. Like, and honestly, this is big for Trackhouse Racing, bro. Ross has been sneaky winning races. Now Suarez won. They got Shane Van Cheeseburger, who won the street race, who is running full time in the Xfinity series, by the way. And like, I think Tiggy Nation's right. Like, this is the shit that needs to be pumped, because you don't realize how great racing is, and you don't realize how much skill it takes for these guys to think about this. Because Denny was saying, he was like, basically coming into that last like big lap before the run, he's like, you want to be in third place. He's like, everybody that's in third place basically wins because of that last run. Or wait, no.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah. And it was just very cool to hear. We had 4 wide twice, and it was like, you don't get 4 wide on Atlanta. Atlanta is Daytona and Talladega racing on a smaller track. And I know that Daytona and Talladega get all the big praise, but I'm telling you, like, even being in Atlanta, watching that speedway type racing on a smaller track where they're going the same speed, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable TV too.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was a really good race. I mean, at first, I was texting the family group text. I was saying this race is on drugs, because the beginning of the race was freaking bonkers. Like, it was like every 5 laps there was massive wrecks going on, but it was fun. Yeah, I agree. Atlanta's a great track to watch.
30 cars, Tiggy Nation. 30 cars out of all of them were involved in wrecks this year.
How many total are there? Like 50?
Like, no, like 36-ish.
36 maybe.
Yeah, like,
so 90% basically was involved in a wreck. That's sick. 30, that's cool. Yeah. Obviously, like wrecks, like as long as everyone's okay. I mean, I think it does add like a little bit of intensity, and just like, I don't know, some fans want that. You know, hockey fans want blood in fights all the time. You know, so people want wrecks. Obviously, we don't want anything serious. So I think that's really cool. Very interesting. Crazy start to the series, or I mean, just the season. And then awesome for Mexico, Mexico has a couple, I think they have like 1 or 2 racers in F1. And whenever they do like the Grand Prix Mexico, I mean, that country goes fucking wild.
Oh, man. See, now that would be sick to go to.
So the fact that like now there's a NASCAR, now there's a NASCAR driver who has a couple wins now, and like a big win like this, like probably could get some of those fans over to NASCAR possibly. You know?
And guess who owns Mr. Suarez, Mr. Ross, and Shane Van Cheeseburger's Trackhouse Racing? Guess who's part owner?
No idea.
Mr. fucking Worldwide, dude.
What?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's just cool. It's cool for the Hispanic culture, the Latino culture. Like, it's cool that this NASCAR season and these 2 races has just been insane so far. And for casuals, so you have the winners there. You have who won the 500? William Byron. And you have Daniel Suarez. They're locked into the playoffs now. Like, they're guaranteed a
which
playoff
is so annoying.
Wait, what?
When you win, you're locked into the playoff already.
Oh, but that's like a playoff. Isn't there like 24 playoff racers or something?
Yeah. See, like I don't
then they keep cutting it down every week.
Yeah, right? And that's not till like
September 9th.
Yes, the fall
in Atlanta.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to go to that one. Another thing, Tiggy Nation, you were saying they need to add videos and stuff to really bring awareness to the sport. What I was thinking this last year, and they really have stepped it up this year, and I hope they continue to, is they really needed to like up their merch. They had like just crappy merch for the longest time. And now, like this year especially, the merch has gone they've come out with a lot cooler stuff. And like a lot of those places where I buy hats, like all my Atlanta Braves hats and stuff, I'm sure you guys seen on Instagram. It's like Culture Kings and like New Era hats and shit. NASCAR, they came out with NASCAR ones. So it's like you think that's such a small thing, but just having like cool merch for people that can really bring, I think, people to the sport as well, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at a Chuck E. Cheese Hendrick Motorsports hat right now with a little rope on it.
Yeah.
New Era, and it's like, that's sick.
Yeah.
Blaney's just touring the Chicago office today, Barstool office. Like, that's huge. Like, I agree with you, JT. That's such a great point that, like, that may seem like such a small achievement, but merch and being able to get yourself on those big sites with sick merch will grow things. It's just just how it works.
And the other big one, Tiki Nation, it's 47. Yep. I think that's New Era too, right? Is that the same thing? But anyway,
used to be.
They came out with some sick hats, like really, really sick hats.
The Daytona 500 ones were so fire.
Yeah. So I think that's huge. Like merch, so like getting it on social media, like that really changes the game for really anything you're trying to grow, you know?
Dude, speaking of NASCAR, you want to know who a good fucking podcaster is? Is Dale Jr.
Dude, oh yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah. Driving back from Gatlinburg, I was listening to his and Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, like he's just such a good old boy, knows what he's talking about, such an honest dude to himself, like isn't trying to be anybody that he's not. Like he's just a good old guy that knows racing, loves racing, and is just trying to make the sport bigger.
Oh,
like,
Jake, I'm so glad you said that. I'm sorry. I was listening to the Juice Box this morning. No, because it's what you're having to say. I was listening to the Juice Box.
I hope our listeners are keeping tallies of every time JT interrupts. Someone, most likely Jake.
Dang, see, that's crazy because that's something
tallies every week.
That's something I need to work on because I do that when I get excited.
JT's Bert and Two Bears One Cave.
Dang,
starts to talk.
Man, you guys are right. Because I do that at work though too, like in meetings when I get excited about something. And it's not like to be hurtful. It's like I'm excited. I have to tell you now, or I'm gonna forget. So what you were saying about Dale Jr. and the Juice Box, something like it's crazy that everything when his dad died that he still decided to like stick with the sport or something to that matter. And then I was thinking, yeah, that had to have been hard as crap. But like on the flip-flop, like that's what he had with his dad. So it was like continuing to build the brand, the sport of it all will continue his dad's memory, because it's like if that sport would die, like, you know what I mean? Like his dad's memory would just kind of go away, So I think him constantly trying to build up the sport with all these different avenues and stuff is to really just kind of carry on his dad's legacy, I just was thinking about that when you guys were talking about that.
He's doing a great job.
Yeah, I don't know if that was this week's or last week's episode, but yeah. Go ahead. You can continue your thought now.
Go ahead, Tiggy Nation. It's all you, brother. Get some time in while you can, dude. Get some time in while you can.
Get some time in. Well, if we're off NASCAR, we can talk about the biggest blockbuster sensation that is Dune 2 out now. Is it out now? I think it might only be out for like certain big cities. I think
technically out Friday, but you'll be able to go see it on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you can't do any midnight screenings anymore, which understandably why, but is a damn shame. as Oliver.
Sad. I mean, I remember sitting there for midnight for what was it? The Avengers and what did we say? Star Wars.
Dude, I saw so much shit at midnight. Fast and Furious, so much stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, but Dune 2 has gotten like glowing reviews. I think Dune 1 got glowing reviews as well. So I still need to watch it. So I maybe tomorrow, Wednesday, I got a lot of time. So Wednesday could be my day to watch Dune 1. I would like to see Dune 2. I kind of want the popcorn bucket, even though, I mean, you can't even get popcorn out of it. I don't know if you guys saw other reviews of that.
Dude, I'm just going to be so honest. Like, I give the Dune people credit for allowing that to be the popcorn bucket. But it's smart marketing at the end of the day, which is crazy. It's like not one of those hot things, like just making it look like something you want to fuck. Everyone's like, oh, look at the popcorn bucket. And now it's massive.
Yeah. So hopefully I can get one. I wasn't able to get whenever there was like a last popcorn bucket. Oh, it was the Top Gun one. I couldn't get the Top Gun popcorn bucket, which was fucking sick. I think you can get it on eBay for like $100. So I want to try to get the Dune popcorn bucket. I think you can only get it at AMC though, so I'm gonna have to go and try to get that. Excited to see Dune 2. Excited to rewatch Dune 1. Hopefully, my brother actually mentioned he put it on the plane, watched 5 minutes, fell asleep. He was like, "Can't do it." So,
dude,
oh my god, it's like Star Wars: A New Hope. It's like the beginning. It's slow. It's the first one, you know.
Yeah.
Like the first season of Game of Thrones. You're like, what is this shit going on?
I can't wait the next time I'm sitting in the hole and he just walks in. I could just look at him and be like, I was Dune, and just see what he says.
I guarantee.
Just see if he's honest or if he just like is like, oh yeah, say.
I guarantee he'll go like, what? And then you'll say it again and he'll be like, terrible. That'll be his exact reaction.
I will report back, and I honestly hope it is that, because that would make me laugh if you just nailed the reaction too. That'd be very great.
Yeah, but a lot of good reviews for Dune 2, so I'm excited for that. I think that's, good to see, but we saw it in Dune 1, and that still had very mixed opinions in the actual public. The only people reviewing them are people in New York City and the big media conglomerates, which got the reviews anyway. So I would say the next 2 weeks will be more telling to see how good it actually is, to see if it actually is good.
And it's crazy that the director, I kind of like what the director's doing right now. He's just basically on this kind of rampage is the wrong word, but I like to use the word rampage. And he's just saying, he's like, the young generation wants long movies. They're like, this whole, to him, he believes more that the young generation wants longer movies and they like longer movies. And he was like, look at Oppenheimer, how good Oppenheimer did. That was a younger viewing, blah, 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 which honestly for me gets me excited because I know sometimes it is crazy to sit down and watch a 3 or 4 hour movie, but if it's good, it's a good movie, it's worth it every time. So I'm hoping we start to see an uptick, at least a Wolf of Wall Street length, at least 2.5 hours. I'm not talking 3-4 hours, but a solid 2.5 hour movie, divine.
Yeah. I mean, I've completely flipped the script on what I like. Movies are too freaking long in general to me anymore. I want to watch it. Seriously, I want to watch it. I want it to be. Hey, am I allowed to
watch your little Gen Z, little TikTok-y thing?
You did not even let me finish. I prefer a show format. I think a series, a show is better. What, Tiggy Nation? What are you flipping your hand at me for?
Well, you're just saying you like shows better than movies. You're not saying you don't have any evidence of saying oh, movies should be shorter. You're just I just don't like movies. I'm a show guy.
No, okay. I like movies. Point. Listen, I love movies. I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. If it's no, but
just admit it, he got you. I can see it in your face.
But Spider-Man No Way Home, I could have watched it for 5 hours. So I guess you're right. You're right.
I'm so happy you brought that up, boys, because we do have some serious turmoil going on between the MCU
I actually
and Sony.
need to know what this is. I saw there was turmoil, but I don't know what the turmoil
Sony, so we last week, I believe, we talked about how Sony was pushing hard for the multiversal thing. It's like, we need Andrew, we need Toby, Tom. Again, I'm not saying it wouldn't have been an insane movie. I just don't think that's where Spider-Man 4 needs to go. I think it needs to go back to street level. Some people agree. But they're pushing that. Then, but Tom Holland and Kevin Feige want to do of a more street level show, like with like a Daredevil or like a Kingpin, like how Spider-Man came from, like in the streets of New York, whatever. And now Sony is shoving, they're like, well, we want you to then introduce Miles Morales, which like is cool, but it wasn't, now they're forcing it, like in terms of that's not really what they wanted all of this to be. And now since Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, obviously the MCU has to, and Kevin Feige has to listen. But I think if Sony's just trying to shove all this shit out so fast, and if they would just let the MCU do what it does, you could naturally find a good pivot to introduce Miles Morales, even though I guess we did leave off with like the biggest multiverse. I don't know. I go back and forth with it. I'd like to see a Tom Holland movie by himself, where kind of like the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, nobody knows who he is type deal. And then if we want to go crazy, go crazy. I just hope they're not. I get worried that Sony's going to fuck this up because their track record is not great in the Spider universe.
Yeah. I mean, they set up No Way Home to have a movie like that for Tom Holland, where nobody like an OG Spider-Man. Like, it started the whole thing over, basically. They don't know who he is. He's living in a small ass apartment. Like, he's he doesn't have any friends. Like, they set it up perfectly to do that. Sony freaking sucks. Like, literally every Marvel movie since The Amazing Spider-Man has been absolute trash. Everything after Amazing Spider-Man is garbage on their own. I mean, it is. Like, okay, like Tom Hardy's Venom was fun. Like, I enjoyed it. But like all this other stuff, Morbius, freaking
Venom 2 was terrible.
Madam Web, what else have they done? I mean,
well, the Kraven the Hunter's coming out, and everyone's worried about that because, again, they are ruining massive Marvel characters.
Well, and you know what's sad? Let's take it a step further. They're ruining the characters, but they're also blowing it for those big-time actors as those characters. Like, they would be good, but, like, they're totally ruining it with the freaking storylines. Like, what? Sorry. But yeah, that's how I feel.
What do you guys think about a Spider-Man goes to school and, Tom Holland just goes to college and he's just a normal kid? And then he just tries to win MJ back.
I mean, he's got to be Spider-Man a little bit still. I mean, come on.
I don't know. But I mean,
I would like that. Like, very, very like a modest Spider-Man. Like, he's not doing anything crazy. He's just going to college. Like, he's a nerd. Like, he's like a Toby nerd in the first one,
Yeah.
So I think that would be cool. He's got to be Spider-Man a little bit, though.
Yeah, and that's how he'll like win her back. Like, she'll get taken or something. Just kind of like MJ, I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Jake, it's 7:37, not 7:50.
Boys, I'm sorry. I mean, things just.
Well, okay. Well, before you hop off, I got to move on to.
Yeah, you guys don't have to stop.
Well, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Bring it.
Okay, it dropped. Okay, watched the whole thing. 8 episodes, about 45 minutes long. Now, listen, I get super nerds that are complaining about it. I get it because they kind of mashed some of the storylines together. They changed some of the story, but I enjoyed it from start to finish. Like, I would recommend anyone to watch it. Like, the casting, every single person except the Earthbender King Boomy, every single one besides him, perfectly cast in my opinion. Zuko, freaking awesome. Sokka, awesome. If you give these kids some time to mature in the role, like season 2 could be freaking fire. But I loved it. The visuals were sick. Daniel Day Kim, that's his name, right?
I don't know, but I can't wait to watch it. But boys, it's been a time for me. You two.
Wow. Oh yeah, wow.
I'm not going. I have a call. I have a phone call that I have to make.
I forgot 7:38 meant 7:50.
All right, real quick before
in
Jay.
my defense, we've been recording on Wednesdays the past 2 weeks. Have we not?
Let Tiggy Nation give you one more thing here.
True, one more thing, Jake. Okay. You have a PlayStation 5 now, right?
I do, yes, sir.
For the Spider-Man. So just saying, okay. NCAA football 2005 coming out, console only.
I know. I can't figure out where I'm buying it yet, and I'm in it. I'm in a internal battle.
Well, it might not matter because allegedly crossplay is going to be available. So shouldn't really matter where you have to buy it. I'm probably going to buy an Xbox Series S because it's half the price of a PlayStation 5, and I really only want it for that in NHL. And NHL is more prolific on Xbox. But potentially we might have a massive league.
I'm in.
For NCAA football where everyone plays like 2 matches a week. We'll have fucking Sports Center top plays.
I'll win it.
Everyone takes a college.
Screen pass.
It's gonna be incredible.
Bubble
screen pass versus shark wheel versus triple option. I mean, it's gonna be fucking crazy.
Halfback screen.
Mm-hmm. All right,
down your throats. All right, boys, love you.
Yeah. I don't want to. Yeah, bye.
That's wild. Wild by Jake. 12 minutes early, calling it quits. But you know what,
dude? He's like. I don't follow Barstool a whole lot as much as I used to. Like that, I used to eat, sleep, and drink Barstool. But that's like freaking Mincy skipping the combine, and he got caught playing a freaking poker game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Jake just did. He just quit. He just left his job early to go play a freaking game. It's messed up.
It's all right. So I got some questions about the Avatar.
Let's go back. Yeah.
I got some questions. We're reeling it back for the Avatar. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's 2 top like actresses that are like the focal point of the whole thing. Okay. And this might be spoiler for anyone that hasn't seen Avatar, but I need Aang to be very good.
Mm-hmm.
And I also need Azula to be very, very good.
Yeah.
And I hand up, I have not seen it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I have getting a lot of negative reviews about Azula.
Okay, so that's that's very unfair because Azula is not even in book 1 of the animated series.
Oh, okay? Really?
Yeah. She doesn't come in until book 2. I'm almost 99% positive. Azula's a great character, but you got to remember at the beginning, in book 1, these people, like these characters in the animated series are kids. Like they're young kids. So yeah, Azula looks a little young, but they all do. I think she's going to be fine as Azula. I thought she was good as Azula. I really did. Now, Aang, he looks great. Mm-hmm. The only thing that they really, I'm not complaining. We're nitpicking now because I enjoy the show. They took out a lot of Aang's silly humor from the animated series. Like that made his character who he was. He was like ADHD, like, they were focusing on one thing and he'd get caught on something funny like over here. Yeah. Aang was very serious in this one. He's good though. I mean, he's good. You believe like he's Aang. He looks like Aang. I honestly, if I had to complain was I just wish it was longer. I wish I'm sure there was the budget thing. Like, I just wish maybe they did 12 episodes instead of 8, something like that. Because book 1 has, I think, 22 episodes animated. They're not 45 minutes, obviously. But that was the only thing. There was not a lot of downtime in the show. It was
Yeah.
like action, action, on to the next one, on to the next fight, on to the next fight, which is fine. But that would be my only thing.
Okay.
And my favorite, if I had to pick, like, performance-wise, who nailed their character, Sokka, spot on. I mean,
Really?
Yeah, I agree. Some people are complaining about Sokka. You have a lot of mixed reviews from people. I thought Sokka spot on, down to the voice. I mean, and Zuko. Zuko was so
Zuko good?
dude. And like I said, if you give these kids like a couple more years, like obviously they're gonna age like Stranger Things. Like if you get like 20-ish-year-old Zuko, 20-ish, like I think it has the potential to be really, really good. Yeah, you need to check it out. I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I was wondering, again, this is all going to depend on like age and stuff like that, or like how voices still are. What would you think if it was dubbed and it had the original voice actors?
Okay, so the only one who has, like, in my opinion, who has like a prominent voice in the animation is Zuko. Like, that's my opinion. I think because I've watched some interviews with the dude acting out Zuko in the show, new one, and the original voice actor. And his voice is just it's so like unique. I don't think the voices take away from the characters though in the live action. I honestly think they did a great job. Like after you get into it, you believe that they're the character. You know what I mean?
Okay. And
so
does this season cover all of book one animated basically?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I'm definitely gonna have to check it out. The animated was very good, so
yeah.
I'll probably check it out. And only 8 episodes is too easy. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. I want to go back to earlier in the episode that you're saying now, you wanted more. You wanted more when you were saying movies are too long. I'm a show guy,
Yeah.
and then you're like, I just wanted it to be longer.
Well, no, but here's the thing. Like, you're right. I am saying that. I just feel like it's how it's broken up for me with my point was with the 3-hour movie. Like, I would like to sit down and watch something, but I like intermissions. You know what I mean? Like, I can watch a 45-minute episode of Avatar, take a break, okay, and then watch another. That was my point. Like, yeah. But I love movies. There are movies that are like so long though. Like, I feel like I haven't watched Oppenheimer yet because I want to, not for any reason. I just haven't gotten to watch it yet because I think I'll like it. But I think I'll have to watch it in like a shift because it's like a serious movie and it's so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think kind of like what you said earlier is part of it too, where it's like, you said you could watch a 5-hour Spider-Man movie. Anything you really, really love, you want more of, It's like Oppenheimer for me seemed very long towards the end of it because I was like, it's just the same thing over and over and over and over again. Like, I get it. Like the last 40 minutes could have been cut and I would have given the same score,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that's part of it. It's like Dune. I didn't really understand or like Dune at the beginning, so it felt long. But if you were into that universe, you fucking probably loved it. Like me, I would love it if Harry Potter movies were, 5 hours and they had everything in the books. That'd be sick. Instead, they cut it in half and they took almost everything out of it. So, it's all just relative. So I think I think movies are in a fine spot. It's funny when I look at movies, there's like 2.5, 2 hours, 2 hours, and then there's like an hour and a half movie. And I'm kind of like,
that's too short, right?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if it's worth it for me to buy this ticket and go see that movie.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you enjoy it,
yeah,
it's off in a way where I mean, what's the point? I mean, it's the same end game.
Yeah. I have a really hot take here that I'm almost positive you will completely disagree with.
Okay.
That I wrote down since we're on this conversation. I wrote it down today. I sometimes think shows are better when you can't binge them.
Okay.
Like, for instance, like Avatar, like I binged. It's all done now. I'm done with it.
Mm-hmm.
And like how I was saying, it goes from like fight to fight to fight to fight. I think if I'm watching one and then watch the next one a week later, it might not feel like that action packed. You know what I mean?
I absolutely know what you mean.
Yeah. So I was really thinking about that. I was like, man, like binging is sweet now. We can just watch whatever. But on the other side, it's like I think could be way more. It could almost be more enjoyable, like the anticipation of waiting for the next episode. Like House of the Dragon, like we had to wait a week for each episode, and it was just like so good, you know. Binging is awesome, like to you find a show you can binge, but it's like I think some shows might be better if you like kind of stretch them out, you know. Because I was just thinking about that for Avatar.
No, I mean, I think that's very relative. Is there anything? So I want to bring up first. My first point would be like, can Netflix do that? Like, does Netflix have shows that do that, or is it always all?
I honestly don't know. I feel like because that's how like a lot of these oh my gosh, reality dating shows are.
Mm-hmm.
They'll like drop maybe a couple episodes, but then they wait a week to come out with like two more. Then they wait a week to come out with two more.
Yeah.
So they definitely could. That people have different preferences. I feel like binging is probably what the majority of people would like to do. But I just came to that thought today, you know.
Yeah. I want to say I agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't disagree at all. I think
Okay.
I think one a week's fucking sick. I mean, the only Game of Thrones I've watched like one episode a week was the last season, and it was sick. You know, I mean, like,
right.
It was sick. If it's a big show like that where so many people are watching that, House of the Dragon, Last of Us, you know,
right? See, exactly.
Succession, like anything that's a phenomenon like that. Not only is it just adding more hype because you're like, hey, did you watch Game of Thrones? Like, no, I'm watching it Tuesday. It's like, well, you got to watch it before Sunday because the next one comes out. You know, like everyone's talking about it, builds more hype. There's more marketing towards it because instead of like hyping up just like a couple weeks before, it's like 8 fucking weeks. You're slamming. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. You'd think it'd be more profitable for these kind of things to draw it out.
Absolutely.
Because the hype is like for like 3 months long, as opposed to the drop day. Everyone watches it in a day or two, and now it's kind of like over.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, did you notice all the shows that I just mentioned, though? What they all share in common?
HBO?
They're all HBO shows.
Yeah.
So HBO fucking crushes that. And I think other people need to, you know, just steal their homework and be like, let's try to do something like that. But also, I don't know how, like, is Netflix going to market that? Are they going to spend the marketing dollars on networks that, like, they don't own?
Yeah.
To go and do that? Like HBO, they can just market it on other HBO fucking shows because it's like everyone watches HBO shows, or they can just throw it on Twitter. Like, I feel like Netflix doesn't do a lot of marketing. I feel like they already have so many people, and they're like, well, we're just gonna throw it on and people are gonna watch it, you know?
Yeah, no, that's very true too. That's very true for sure.
But I think once a week's cool. There's much more content. Like, you know, podcasts and like us can talk about it every week and digest it and give our opinions and stuff. There's like so much you can do with once a week. So I fucking love once a week. So I'm fully on board on your side. I think it's sick. Yeah.
So I think because now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like they did that with like Stranger Things and Outer Banks. Or was it all at one time? I don't know. But anyway, I think that, you know, for Avatar, I hope it gets renewed for season 2. You never know with Netflix stuff. They just cancel shit out of nowhere sometimes. I feel like it will. I mean, the buzz behind it. But it hasn't, like, for sure gotten announced renewed for season 2 yet.
I'm sure just with wait, am I muted?
Nope.
Okay, that was weird. I couldn't see my thing. Couldn't see my thing moving. That's what she said. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Avatar is just one of, just Netflix's original kind of thing, right?
Yeah, so
The
that's
animated
they
series, right? So I mean,
they got to, yeah.
yeah.
Love that show. But yeah, so I recommend. I thought it was good. Let's see. Oh, I gotta up. Oh my gosh, I gotta update you on Cornhole here.
Cornholio.
So it's funny because I didn't even realize that the playoffs are all in the same day.
Shit! It's just one day.
Is one day you play until you are out. So
Okay.
I would ended up being there for like 3 hours because we battled our way to the championship.
Let's go.
But we just couldn't get it done in the championship. It's the team we played. They're super good, and I guess they win every time. But super proud of the guys. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. Hottest team in cornhole. I told you, Cornholio was coming in to the playoffs, super hot, and we did. We battled our way all the way to the championship. We had a really good time. It was a lot of fun. I definitely want to play again, but we're moving, so I don't know. Not that far away, but we're going to see. I have to see the dynamic for spring league. Super proud of the guys. I know they're going to be listening to. So shout out to all my Cornholios out there. Greg, Austin, Drew, shout out to you guys.
Shout out to Team Cornholio.
Shout out. So I had to touch a little bit on that.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick. And I'm glad it was fun. I'm glad you had a lot of fun.
It was fun.
That's fucking what life's about, is having fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm glad you had fun, because other people, people would be like mad if they got second place. You know what I mean?
Right.
Be like, oh, we were so close, like down on themselves. And you're just happy and positive. Be like, you know what? It was an awesome time. And I got to hang out with my coworkers and stuff, and we all had fun. And we're probably going to do it again in a couple months. So like, that's it.
It was, and everyone, all the team, I mean, everyone's just super cool. Gets a little competitive a little bit, but everyone's just kind of chilling. You just meeting people and playing cornhole. So it was a really, really good time, and it's cool because it's cornhole ATL, and it's like all over the place around like Metro Atlanta. There's like a ton of different leagues in all these little towns, so it's super cool. I mean, I even may end up joining the one closest to our new place. I don't know, but that was cool. Got to give a quick shout out to me and a handful of the Gregs here, not even a handful. We started doing a Secret Santa.
Okay.
2 Christmases ago. Okay.
Okay.
So we had our second one this year. Long story short, Mason was my guy. I got him and we upped the ante of how much we spend each year.
Yeah.
I got him a record player. Okay.
Cool.
So super cool. But now we just started a new tradition. I don't know. He came up with the name. It's called Vinyl Messi. And we're gonna do like a record exchange like every 3 months, and like he sends me one and I'll send him one, like a new one, which is super cool. So I got mine in the mail today. I got to show you. Show you real quick. Hold on.
Is this an opening? This is a JT vinyl opening here. He's going to get the package.
I don't know. A lot of you may not know. This band, Mount Joy. Really good. They're like oh shit. There we go. Mount Joy live at Red Rocks. I don't even know what genre you would say they are. They're like some kind of like softy, like folky kind of rock music. Really good. Just the album cover alone, Album cover alone is sweet. Live at Red Rocks. Love a nice live album. So shout out Mason for that. I got him the Rolling Papers Wiz Khalifa album.
Oh, he'd love that. I'm sure,
little nostalgic. Yeah, so that was cool. I just had to shout out to that as well.
Now, so this is cool. And obviously this is like is this the first one? The first exchange of the records?
The first one, yeah.
So do you think this is going to continue forever, or do you think it'll die out sometime soon?
Well, we were saying because every 3 months, that's not bad. Albums are like $20 to $30. We literally were saying it would be so cool if we did this for like years. And then when we're old men, just have like a freaking library of records, you know? So we want to do it for a long time, you know, because who knows where he'll be and where I'll be. It's just like a cool way to, you know, stay in touch with your friends, you know. So that was cool, for sure.
You think you'll ever run out of ideas, and you'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna send him a custom vinyl, and you're just gonna make like a custom mixtape for him?
I think that is because I was looking that up one day. If you could do that, that would be sick. Like just kicking it old school, basically just sending a burnt CD, you know, but it's a burnt vinyl. So that would definitely be sick. I would love to.
You should hit him does he have a Spotify?
Yeah.
You should somehow see, or maybe in the year in review for this year, you can get his top songs, or like just view his profile and somehow get like his top songs of the year or something like that, and then just burn it and maybe like give him an extra one for Christmas and be like, hey, here's your 2024 top vinyls.
That would be sick. That would be sick. Like maybe that was like that became like on our every like fourth one or something. I don't know, but it became like a repetition thing. Like, okay, now this time we're sending each other a burnt vinyl. That would be sick, cool. Though. That would be cool.
I think that's cool. That'd be fucking sick.
Yeah.
Like just hearing people talk about vinyls, like makes me want to get a vinyl player and just like play music.
It's just fun. Like to me, it's fun. Honestly, what it is for me is similar to when we were all balls deep in Pokemon cards.
Yeah,
truly, that's what it's like for me. It's like just kind of collecting them and getting ones that have sweet album. Obviously, you want to like the band or the musician. The ones with the super cool album covers and like, if you found like a rare one, you know, in a shop or whatever, you know. So it's more so just like something fun to collect.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that, and just the fact it's like a little bit nostalgic. It's kind of old school where it's like I'm not just clicking a couple buttons and swipes on my phone. I'm pulling it out, I'm putting it on, I'm moving the track onto which one I want, like the grooves and stuff. Like, I don't know. That seems like really cool. You know, that's like I'm not a very crafty person. You know what I mean? But that seems very cool. That's like you know,
it can can set like the nice mood too. Like you have people over, or like you just want to chill. You have your little stand where all your vinyls and your record player are, and instead of like you said, just Bluetoothing your phone to a speaker, you know. So that it is cool in that regard too.
Yeah, my roommate has like 500 vinyls in his room. I'll have to like see if I can just take a picture of them and send them to you. It's wild.
Yeah, please. That's a lot. Jeez.
So if I'm getting a vinyl, do I need like a speaker? Do I need to get
you do there are like big ones that are everything, but I would just there's some that are literally like that big, and then you can just get whatever speaker you want, and then it just kind of plugs in, you know, to the back of it. Yeah, an amp. So that's what I did. And honestly, I didn't even know that at first. It's actually hilarious because I opened it up and I tried to play my first record that I got, and I'm like, it's this I was like, this is all the loud it gets. And it'd be similar to like you playing a song and you have headphones plugged in, but you don't have your headphones on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You
can like hear it, but it's like, there's no way. Like this is, so I didn't even know at first that I had to get a speaker. But yeah, for sure.
So if I'm getting into vinyl, how much do I need for a vinyl player and a speaker? What do I need? What's the intro price?
Oh, I would say $200.
$200? Okay.
And you could even go lower than that, I think. Like, because the one I got Mason was $99.
Okay.
And then you can just get whatever speakers you want. It's really not bad. And then, like I said, unless you're getting some super limited edition, whatever, vinyls are like 20 to 30-ish bucks, you know? Yeah, it's not too bad, you know? But yeah, if you get addicted and buy a new one every single day, yeah. But like, it's not that bad. And it's just like a fun thing to collect throughout the years, you know.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Maybe my room really doesn't have much. Maybe I could get like a little bookcase back here, and just get a vinyl and get
Perfect.
I don't know.
And
I'll probably
that,
get like 3 total vinyls, and then the rest are going to be like custom playlists.
Yeah. And then that's what that's where we'll stack our New Year's resolution books that we're reading, you know. We'll put them on there as well. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Full circle.
Full circle. Full circle.
Shit. But all right, Tiggy Nation. I think it's time for me. I know we're at lunchtime right now. I think it's time for me to go eat dinner now. So
I agree. I think it's been a time.
It has been a time. I appreciate it. Shout out to all our listeners hopping in line with us once again. We appreciate you. We love you. And we will catch you again next week. All right. Bye-bye.